Do you sleep enough? This statistical investigation aims to see whether or not Year 7 students get more sleep each night than Year 12 students. It will also look at the sleep recommendations and whether or not both age groups meet these hours. The data for this investigation was obtained from the 2013 Census at School random sampler. Using the 2013 data, I was able to use a sample size of 100 students, 50 Year 7 students and 50 Year 12. This is the data from the Year 12 students' answers. Because we are only looking at hours of sleep, we will only require the highlighted set of data. This is the Year 7 answers from the census. Once again, we will only require the sleep data. Once the data we need is copied and pasted into Excel, we are able to create some graphs. As you can see, by simply pasting the numbers alongside and clicking Create Graph, we get a graph which tells us nothing. To fix this issue, we need to do some data organisation before we attempt a graph. I know I need hours of sleep to be one measurement and the amount of students to be another, so I can count my data and I can rearrange it. Here is a table of the results. The bar graph accurately shows the information that we want. You can clearly see the amount of red bars, the Year 12 students, are lower on the graph than the blue bars. You can see how many students get how much sleep each night. The information given on the dot plot represents the same information as the bar graph. You can see that the dots representing the Year 12 students are gathered more towards the lower amounts of sleep than the dots representing Year 7 students. While this information is still fairly easy to read, the bar graph shows a better representation of the data. The information is not represented well in the line graph. A line graph is best used for continuous data such as weather or dates. When whole numbers are portrayed on a line graph, the data can be misrepresented. For the sector graphs, information had to be split into two separate tables so I could create two separate graphs. They've been arranged so the colours represent the same data within each graph. For example, 8 hours is represented by a purple section in each graph. This graph would be more suited if we were just focusing on one age group, or if the hours of sleep were split into categories such as less than 8 hours, 8 to 10 hours, and over 10 hours. The stem and leaf plot is a good interpretation of the investigation's results. You can clearly see the majority of Year 12 students are sitting lower on the plot than the majority of the Year 7 students. The graph had to be converted into minutes for the stem and leaf plot to work. Stem and leaf plots generally deal with larger numbers and create an easy way to organise data. The stem and leaf plot is not the best way to organise this data. Here we have the summary statistics displayed on a table for easy and accurate comparisons. The mean, median and mode have been calculated in Excel by using the formulas on the page. You can achieve this by highlighting information and typing in the specific code. Excel then figures out the results for you. It was evident from all graphs and from the summary statistics that Year 7 students do on average get more sleep each night than Year 12 students. According to the Sleep Health Foundation, the recommended hours of sleep per night for Year 7 students is 9 to 11 hours, and the Year 12 students are recommended 8 to 10 hours. The summary statistics show that Year 12 students get an average of 7.28 hours sleep each night, falling below the recommendations. Year 7 students have an average of 9.4 hours, which fit into their recommendations. These results can be used to determine what happens to students as they go into higher years of high school to create such a high level of students not getting enough sleep. Because the needs of every child and every teenager is different, it is important to understand that there are only recommendations and that individual needs will vary.